Hey guys, how's it going? I'm going to do a little quick video here for all you SRT4 guys. If you're trying to install your timing belt and you're having some issues that I myself have ran across, and it was a real pain in the ass. And um, I mean, if you have another person, it could be a little bit easier, but if you're doing this by yourself, sometimes it can be really tricky. There's a couple ways to do it. Um, you know, some people say they have no trouble getting it on with the way the diagram and the manual tells you, which is to slide it over the tensioner. Um, but trust me, there is a lot easier way to do that, at least for my opinion. I've only seen one other guy on the forums say they did this, and everybody else was having trouble, and this guy's comment was the only comment that pretty much saved me. So originally what they tell you to do is they tell you to wrap the belt, everything around this intake side, wrap it around the exhaust cam side, and end up right about where the tensioner sits right here. I tried that at first. I tried the way the diagram told me to, and boy, especially with this Gates, it was a pain in the ass, I'll tell you that. But that one comment saved me, and what I did differently was this. I wrapped it around pretty much everything and gave some slack around here and the intake cam gear side. Now, with that, it gave me all the amount of room to just pretty much use my hands. Oddly enough, I didn't even really need a flathead. I just loosened up as much slack of the belt as possible, and I was able to, with my hands, slide it over the intake cam gear. And that worked wonders, and boy, I'll tell you, it is complete difference doing it that way. Yeah, just much easier. Now let's see here. I got the cam gear marks. I don't know if you could see it. Pretty much centered. That's because I have a cam holder here. Now, if you guys don't have this, you may have a little bit of trouble lining it up. Some do it by hand. But anywho, I got the crank top dead center. Get this to focus. It's really the angle. It's kind of off, but once you get the right angle on the camera, it's centered. But in person, it's centered. Anywho, so what I did, if you don't have an extra person, and this is another tip, if you're trying to do this by yourself, sometimes trying to walk the belt on can move the crank, which moves it from top dead center. What I did is I had a breaker bar on the crank here in position between the control arm itself and the axle. Now, as you can see, there's space in between my breaker bar. What I just did was I had this little jack handle here, and I slid it over the breaker bar, and that diameter enough with the jack handle was enough to create an adequate amount of tension between the axle and the control arm so that the crank itself did not walk or move at all when I was putting the belt on. So that's a tip right there for the bottom crank, trying to align that. And then as well, this helps out much wonders. So that was about it for this video. I just really made this video because I haven't really found any other videos on YouTube on how to slide your belt on. They just show you like steps of how to do the whole timing belt replacement, etc. And even then, in those videos, they miss a lot of key components of what people could have trouble with. But I just made this video because of that issue of, people having trouble trying to slide their belt on. But anywho, going to cut this video here, and I'll see y'all in the next video.